we're going to do some video out in the wild with no lights, only the sunlight, and it's going to help us to know how we can shoot video of hand signs in difficult locations. What we're going to use today is scissors, a stick, a tripod, and in this 7-kilo box is everything hopefully you'll need to set up the light. We're not sure if we're going to need all this stuff, but this is the bag that had the camera in it. We're using the camera to take this video. A ball of string to secure the tent in case of wind. Super glue always comes in handy, don't know why yet. Black masking tape. Electrician's tape. And a little tube that we'll use for a side filter on the camera. Also is some screen, typical household screen to keep mosquitoes out. We're going to use that for a backdrop. Sheet of plastic, black plastic. We'll show you later on what that's going to be for. Last but not least, it's a light tent. Bought this from Tabletop Studio. It helps to give even lighting on the subject. Hopefully this black plastic made into your box. It's to help protect the white tent from setting it on dirty ground, and also we'll use it for shielding some of the extra sunlight if you have too much sun, causing the person to squint. If you don't have a piece of black plastic sheet, just use something else that will help keep the tent from setting on the ground. Now we're going to set up the tent. It's not too hard to do. It's harder to undo it than to do it. Unfold it like that. Again. All in one motion. We now set it to the side so the sun's coming in from an angle. And now we'll tie it off to keep it from blowing away. Because of the wind today, we've tied it off with some string, just to some local anchors, just a little bit to keep it from bouncing around. And now we had to get a little longer stick for the video. You can see how we've tied the stick up there into the back corner, and we'll put the screen hanging. We're tying them to the holes in the grommets, or whatever you call them, in the tent, so you don't have to make a hole in the tent itself. Okay, now let's locate the tripod about a couple meters from the center of the inside of the tent. Straighten it up with the legs, so it's level. Okay, now we're going to connect the camera to the tripod base. Open the latch, and we'll screw this bolt onto the bottom of the camera, and then once we're finished, we'll put it back in the setting and lock it in. When you come into the tent, go ahead and take your shoes off so you don't get the tent dirty, because any dirt will show up on the video. Now we're going to do a before and an after to show you the difference between the lighting without the curtain as a backdrop and with. Here is the before, so you can see that my skin probably is fairly dark. So now, hopefully, we're going to make the lighting better by putting a backdrop behind me that is gray, dark gray. Okay, so we'll feed it in over the pole like this. straighten it out. And get back in position. So how does that look for an after shot? Is it a little bit more light on my skin? Now compared to this shot, we added some black plastic behind the screen, the gray screen, to darken it up a little bit on the background. And is my skin a little bit lighter? Now remember, the purpose of this filming is to get good, clear filming of hands, signs, and we want to have a frame that is about this wide. So whatever you're seeing in addition to that, we're going to cut off. We're going to crop it out. So don't worry about that. And we want to have about half a head high where you're only seeing the screen behind and not seeing something else. So frame the camera so you only see half a head above, and you should be close enough to where it comes to the waist. Now the purpose for using the light tint is so that we don't get strong shadows on one side of the face or the other. As you can see with this tint, it's all evenly lit, and that's hard to do without something like this. Now we're giving you the tools to help try to get rid of the shadows and to get the skin, to have the skin be nice and bright and have good luster. But if it's not working out for you, improvise, do something a little bit different, use some different plastic in different places, put more dark behind, or whatever you need to do. Change the direction of the tint so that the sun is coming in a slightly different direction. It's up to you. Also in your kit, I'm not sure how well it's going to work, but there should be a tube like this, a black tube. And we'll put that over the lens of the camera to block out some of the white that the camera is seeing on the edges. And that should hopefully help the camera eye to open to get more light on you, the subject. So we'll put this black tube on there just to see how it adds to the ability to block out some of the side light. If it doesn't block it out enough, you can actually put a little piece of tape on the edges of the tube so it'll block out a little bit more. If your tube is clear, then you'll need to cover it with the black tape to keep it from being white. The tube is actually made from a container that holds 35 millimeter film. Now what I'll do to bring in the edges of the framing a little bit more, I'll just put some tape right there on an edge, and then I'll put another piece of tape there, and we'll show you how it looks.